Welcome to the ranch. Most people assume the sex of a chick is completely random. Hatch a batch of eggs, you get half roosters, half hens. But after 40 years of dealing with chickens, I started noticing something interesting. Those winter hatches, for whatever reason, they lean heavily towards hens. Sometimes even close to 70%. I didn't plan that. It's just something kept showing up over the years. And when I kept seeing it, that triggered my prehistoric zen. You know, that primitive man that just knows something's different in nature. Made me stop, pay attention. Because if this pattern keeps showing up, starts to raise questions. Is the sex of chicks really random? Or can those conditions around the egg somehow form them? If it's truly random, then over time it should balance out. You might get more hens one hatch, more roosters the next. But in the long run, it should just all even out. That's just what random does. But that's not what I've been seeing over these years. Winter hatches, they have a tendency to lean towards hens. But often enough that it starts to stand out. Now, technically, the sex of a chick is set when the egg is formed. It's not something that's set to be changed later. Hens, they carry 2 chromosomes. And whatever one ends up in the egg determines if that's going to be a hen or a rooster. So on the surface, it should be a fixed thing. But there's some interesting research around this. In birds, the condition of the hen, it can also influence the ratio. Her nutrition, her stress level, even the time of year she's laying. All of that affects how those eggs are formed in the first place. There's also evidence hormones play an important part in this. Things like stress, their hormones, the reproductive hormones. These things can shift depending on their conditions. Some research and science leads them to believe that this can very gently change the sex of the egg. No, not control it completely, but just gently nudge it in that direction. Then there's another possibility. It might not be that more hens are being created. It might be that more roosters just don't make it. Early development, it's a fragile thing. Temperature swings, nutrition, even small stresses during incubation. Those can affect survival before you ever see a chick hatch. So what looks like a shift in sex, that could be actually a shift of what survives. Now it's interesting, I don't see the same thing in an incubator. When I hatch eggs, they seem to come up pretty much even. So whatever causes this doesn't seem to be just temperature during incubation. When something like this shows up, especially when you didn't plan it, it's worth paying attention to. Not to jump to any conclusions or anything like that. Not trying to force some sort of answer out of it. Just noticing it. Let it sit in your mind for a while. Think about it. Because patterns, they have a way of repeating. If they're real, So I'm not saying you can control this. There's not a simple way to choose hens and roosters, but I am saying the conditions around those eggs might be doing just a little bit more than we think. And if that's true, then something just as simple as the time of year when you hatch chicks, it just might be worth paying attention to. If you're trying to build a flock or just want more laying birds, winter hatching might be something that you can experiment with. It isn't perfect, but if you're planning on hatching replacement birds, you might want to just consider winter hatching with your broody hens. It may just tip the odds in your favor. Not as a guarantee, just something you can try to maybe get a few more hens. Try it, observe for yourself, because in the end, that's really the only way to know for sure. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your time. Check back in on me from time to time. Thank you.